moments from now. Well, a little bit about Ross. Global partnerships and business development, the Avelo system, yeah? Since 1996, Ross Neill has dedicated his career to the art and science of diving, logging over 10,000 dives in diverse environments, from icy lakes to tropical reefs. A decorated scuba instructor trained with a trainer with 11 Platinum Paddy Courses Director Awards. He has trained elite teams including the FBI, CERT, and LAPD. Right, certified on the Avelo system since February 2024, Ross quickly advanced to instructor trainer and has certified numerous Avelo pros. He now works with Shearwater to help launch their revolutionary jetpack, bringing Avelo's innovation to the global diving community through expert training, outreach, and of course, education. So Ross, are you ready?
I believe I am.
The Ross, a very good afternoon.
Thank you very much.
The stage is all yours.
Thank
Round
you.
of applause, please. Thank you.
Thank you. And if you'd like, ladies and gentlemen, there's some nice seats right here. They've got name tags on them, but whatever the name is, just pick it. It's yours. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Just show of hands, who here has even heard of Avelo yet? Okay, a couple people, been by the booth, maybe been by Shearwater. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking about Avelo and what it is and why it's going to take this dive community to new heights. This is where you get to dive lighter. Have you ever tried to get up on a boat at the end of a dive? Even at the beginning of the dive? Have you ever asked somebody how much weight they need before the beginning of a dive? This is going to be something to cut the weight down, make you more comfortable in the water, and make you a better diver. Why? Well, let's take a look. Let's see if this works for me. There is music. I'll be the music. There we go.
I can always tell when you're lonely, when your voice gets sweeter when you want me. It's so obvious that I want you to. 'Cause I can feel it worse when I'm sleeping in a strange place with you and I'm dreaming. Wishing I could wake up and be next to you. When the focus ain't enough to get through this, when you need to feel my love, you can pack up a suitcase and hop on an airplane. Whenever your sunshine turns to rain, when you're feeling homesick, you know where my heart is. I'm only 1,000 miles away.
You know what? Looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but that's okay. This right here is Liz Parkinson. Anybody heard of the movie Avatar 2? She was Kate Winslet's double. Yeah. So she is a famous stunt lady, scuba diver, and she has moved over into diving and instructing Avelo. Oh, here we go. That's her upside down. And she's talking about the ease of getting into the water, getting out of the water. And this is a nice shot of Catalina. There's a wonderful voiceover that's going on right now, but right now I'm just trying to ad-lib and make this up. Because why not? I think we're just going to see if we can go to, there we go. So what is the Avelo system? For those of you that haven't been over to the booth yet, it's a bladder inside of a tank. So you've got here a tank inside of a tank. What does that mean? Well, it means that then we hook that up to a jetpack. Yes, I know it sounds like the George Jetsons. It's not. It just means that you can jet through the water because you're neutrally buoyant. And then the whole thing is put together and it's called the Avelo system. Note, it does not have a BCD. It does not have a balloon. This is a ballast system. This is no longer fighting against water with weight on our belts to counteract our wetsuit, to then put a balloon on to counteract the weight that's counteracting the wetsuit. No. This is just putting on a harness with a hydro tank that is borrowing water that you're swimming in. And it's putting it in the tank. And that's making us neutrally buoyant. Why is that important? Because we get to dive lighter. We get to swim underwater the same way that the fish swim. We are virtually 14 kilos less heavy, the whole unit. We're going in the water with less weight. We're coming out of the water with less weight. And we're continually neutrally buoyant. The beautiful thing is, it doesn't matter where you are in the water column, you're neutrally buoyant. If you swim up and you're only at 5 meters, you're neutrally buoyant. If you swim down and you're at 18 meters, you're neutrally buoyant. You haven't changed anything. It's safer. Why? Has anybody ever seen one of those divers where you turn and you go, oh no? You've seen it. Yeah. It can't happen. There's no balloon. It can't happen. So you are a safer diver while you're actually doing it more enjoyably, while you're doing it easier. The system simply responds the way that you need it to, and that is slow. Because you're putting water in as opposed to air or gas. Now, come on. I'm going to go over here so it picks me up. It's going to pick me up now, right? Yes. Is it worth it? Well, I say absolutely. It's just the physics of diving. You are literally borrowing water to add weight. That's all you're doing. Anyone at the end of a dive felt a little bit light on that safety stop? And you're like, oh, I wish I had 1 more kilo. By the way, I'm trying to speak in kilos, not pounds. Sorry. I wish I had 1 more kilo. Now, I go like this. I press the button that's on the back. I start my pump. I borrow that water, and I've got 1 more kilo in my tank. Now I'm neutrally buoyant again. We have seen this with over 1,000 certifications. Over 70 instructors certified so far. And the most common takeaway is that it just makes it easier. You turn into the fish. You just swim. It's swimming, but you can breathe underwater. So you've got less task loading. All right, who here has great buoyancy? Come on, admit it. You've got great buoyancy. We know you do. Yes, you've got great buoyancy. We've all got great buoyancy. This is simply better. Why? Because you don't have to think. No matter what, you are making minute little decisions when you scuba dive. Am I going to let a little bit out? Am I going to put a little bit in? Am I going to breathe? Am I going to remove a bladder from my system because I don't want to have that extra space? This takes that away. It simply makes it easier. And it makes it more simple to pick up. I can become an Avelo diver faster because it takes away the pull and the push. I'm no longer being pulled up. I'm no longer being pushed down. I'm just swimming. And as I feel it, as I feel that a little bit light, I borrow some more water. And then at the end of the dive, I give the water back. I let it out. And then I'm positively buoyant. We have literally logged and looked at the data from over 11,000 dives. And one of the things that we can show with the Avelo mode, getting ahead of myself, is that you become a smarter diver. Because all of you BC diver, you know, when I go up, I need to breathe. When I go down, I need to breathe, or I need to do something. Now you're taking away that do something, and now you're breathing your dive. Then we can actually look on the computer and a profile to see why and when we're breathing that dive to make better divers. Oh, maybe it was a weight issue. Oh, maybe it was a stress issue. Wouldn't that be interesting to be able to go into the psyche of how we're thinking when we scuba dive? What makes us stressed before we even dive? Well, with the Avelo mode, you can actually do that. So this is a way of capturing all of the information. Shearwater, which has a booth just back there, and Scuba Pro both have an Avelo mode. And what that means is it's taking the information from the dive computer and turning it into more specific information right up front. For instance, you see here where it says 100% remaining. When we add water into that tank, the pressure is going to go up. Well, how do I know how much gas I've got now? The Avelo mode tells me the percentage. We can use the rule of thirds, but with this Avelo mode, not only am I actually looking at my profile, I'm actually looking at the percentage of gas that's in my tank, which is more specific. Then we go to a classroom, we sit on a boat, and we take a look at what the dive is. Now, this is kind of cool. The blue line is the dive. That's the depth. And if you can see, there's a little spike. All right. Well, the green line, that's what's happening with the bladder. So what I've done is I've pumped, and my pressure spikes. And it spikes again, and it spikes again. Well, that has made me neutrally buoyant, and now I just swim. And this is we call it a recreational Avelo diver 1. This is dive number 1 of the course, and I know that because I see the sawtooth. And what that diver is doing is they're going from 15 meters up to 5, and they're not doing anything but swimming. I know. You're thinking, no. But it's true. They're doing nothing but swim up and then swim down. And if they want to do it with the breath control, because they've got great breath control, absolutely. Let's do that. But we can show that to our students, which means then we can help that student become a better diver for themselves. We can help ourselves, the diver, become a better diver for ourselves by looking at what our lungs are doing for our own buoyancy. This is now the way that I go up and down. And one more. There we go. This is our, what we call the comfortable breathing range. This is the range in which we can go up and down by using our lungs alone, which is rather large. That blue line represents, again, what we call the workload. What you guys would know as SAC, right? So as you see, this diver, and by the way, this is the same profile as the one that I just showed you, just different information. This diver pumped, then pumped, then pumped, and got a little negative based off of how comfortable that diver was. But look at what happened to the breathing. See that light blue line, how it spiked? It spiked because he was diving, swimming down. So he's working. He's working. Then as he stabilizes, look how nice and even that line becomes. That's just breathing in and breathing out. And he's staying within his neutral buoyancy and his comfortable neutral buoyancy. When you can show this to a diver, when you can look at this information and actually take a look and go, oh, I breathed high here because I did that up-down skill, didn't I? I went up and I went down, so that's just me swimming. Yes. So I shouldn't swim that fast. Right. Oh. Well, that's some good advice. Well, I thought I told you at the pool not to swim too fast. Well, you did, but I didn't really listen to you, did I? No. Then, we've got what other people say. Right? I didn't realize how much I was actually managing it. We don't realize when we're as good as we are as divers, how much we actually think before we do something. We prep it. We have to be ready for it. When we take away all that prep, all of those extra things, that task loading, our own sack rate, our own workload starts to go down. We become better divers. It does do exactly what it says, and yes, when you have especially a new diver, somebody that's only been diving for about maybe 5 dives, those are the divers that every time you hear tsh, you go, oh no, please don't do that, wait, right? Now, I'm like, go for it. You're not going to do it. You're not going to go up or down. Just swim, enjoy it. It becomes a much more enjoyable situation. They're more comfortable right off the bat. Then, for new divers, who's it for? New divers builds confidence. They can get to that point that you are now in their neutral buoyancy much quicker, much easier. For experienced divers, now you've got the freedom. Now you've got ways that you can find to fine-tune the reasons, the whys, and the what-fors that make you a better diver. Sometimes you just can't explain. I don't know, it's because I do this. With the profiles, when we take away the bubble that we can't predict, the only thing that we can is that it's going to pull us up if we're not careful, then we can actually hone in on what makes it so enjoyable. Come on, I'm a diver. I just want to go underwater and dive and swim around and be a fish. Wouldn't you like to be able to enjoy that and invite more people to be fish with you? Right? Photographers, explorers, things like that where you have to be stable, where you have to not have to touch anything, fantastic. Some of the best photographers that I know right now have actually switched over to Avelo simply because they don't have to think about that bubble any longer. They breathe out, they go down. They breathe in, they come up. And then you've got the adventurers. Half of the reason why people are here, they're not here at the presentation, but they're the ones that are missing out. It's something new. When's the last time in the scuba industry that you found something new that was really cool? Right? Let's face it. We've been diving the same gear for almost 50 years. That's a long time. And yes, this is going to be a new way of diving for many people, but it's not that different. It's simply removing the balloon. We've got a lot of Avelo dive centers in the world. Actually, it's more than 32, and this presentation was just put together about a week ago. As you see, everything from Maui all the way over to Australia. We have a lot more in the United States right now because that's where we've been focusing. Now we're here. We are going up into Malaysia. Anti-Gravity, just right over there, is actually putting on some recreational Avelo dives this week, next week, and the following week, as well as some instructors. And I say that not to pump them. It's because every time we look at something new, we're finding new people that want to actually do this. They want to become recreational Avelo divers. They call it RAD divers, and they want to become Avelo instructors. This is something that is going to change the way that we dive. We've got, oh, come on, sorry. People were walking. The other wonderful thing Avelo is made by divers for divers. So it is an ecosystem. Inside their website, they've got a dashboard with tools for the divers, tools for the instructors, tools for the instructor trainers, tools for the Avelo dive centers. It's got marketing tools. There are so many different types of ways to get information now to the customers. It really is a matter of, hey, I want to be part of this ecosystem. Come, let us find a way to make you part of this ecosystem. There are Avelo technicians. There are different ways of becoming an Avelo dive center. I'm more than happy to talk to you about ways of becoming Avelo dive centers. You do need to have one instructor and one technician on staff in order to do so. And then you've got the actual instructor education and the diver education. All of this is inside the dashboard and is accessible to anybody that's actually part of the Avelo ecosystem. You've got a recreational Avelo diver, which is a one-day course. You could make it 2, but it's really only 2 dives. You're not there to teach them how to scuba dive. You're taking a certified scuba diver and teach them how to dive the Avelo system. That's different. In some cases, the longer they've dived, the more you're trying to teach them not to dive a BCD, right? And just dive the Avelo system. Then you've got the Avelo Pro. The Avelo Pro is going to be 3 days. You have to have at least 10 dives on the Avelo system in order to take the course. And then you've got the Avelo Technician, which is approximately 2 days. It's coming. There we go. This is not just a saying. People that have been diving Avelo are continuing to dive Avelo. We're trying to find places, more and more places, to be Avelo destinations. I don't know if you guys heard of the Shearwater announcement 2 weeks ago in the United States in Long Beach. Shearwater just announced that now they are making an Avelo jetpack. Not just computers anymore. They're getting into gear. So think of what that's going to do for this industry, right? I know you see some of these guys walking around with the tanks on their backs. Go by the booth, pick it up, play with it. Go ahead. The biggest takeaway is try it before you say it's not going to work. I was one of the ones that said it's not going to work. And that was about 1.5 years ago, and I've not dived in a BCD since. Honest. And that's because I get to see my students, and I get to have a good dive. And that's at the Spiegel Grove in Key Largo. There we go. Annual, so maintenance. Typical tank, every year you do a visual, every 5 years you do a hydro. Can you travel with it? Yeah, absolutely. Is it nitrox compatible? Yes, absolutely. If you do travel with it, you just have to take the valve off. And now, more and more, we are getting tanks, hydro tanks, to destinations. We're getting hydro tanks strategically to specific liveaboards so they can actually be the destination so that you can travel with your gear and the destination has the hydro tank. There's a 10-liter and there's an 8-liter. Those are comparable to an 80 or a 63. But look, you can fill them both to 300 bar. So you can get the same gas as the next tank up, practically. And that gives you an extra couple of pounds or kilos, since we are in the land of kilos. Sorry. So I apologize for going over a little bit too long. Please hang out. There's going to be another wonderful presentation after this that I am going to attend. If you have any questions on the Avelo system, please, by all means, it's just over there, B0, I'm not sure, right there. You can't miss us. We're on the corner, anti-gravity. Please, by all means, stop by the Shearwater booth. And thank you for joining me for this presentation.
Right. Thank you, Ross. And coming up shortly, we shall be having our next presentation taking place in the time frame of 2 p.m. and is brought to you by Miko Pasi. The topic for this segment is called Bottom Line Projects, commencing at a time frame of 2 p.m. Right, just to highlight, at 3 p.m. we shall be having the opening ceremony, and a good afternoon to all visitors. Welcome back to the Malaysian International Dive Expo 2025. Okay, coming up shortly at the main stage, and a very good afternoon to all visitors. Welcome back to the show. Right, our next presentation is by Miko Pasi, and the topic is called Bottom Line Projects. Yeah, right. Miko is a passionate technical diver and explorer, always ready to explore and document the undiscovered underwater realm. Miko started his professional dive career at the Ojamo mine bag in the year 1998. Soon after, he moved to Thailand, where he has been running Koh Tao Divers ever since. Right, over the past decade, he has focused on documenting the underwater world through his camera, and Miko has been the cameraman in numerous documentaries and films, both in front and behind the camera as well. Right, his passion lies in exploration, and throughout the years, he and his dive team have discovered numerous wrecks